Okay. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? Well, earlier today I posted a video about drawing. It was basically you can draw kind of thing, and I don't want to say it's screaming, but it's racking up views at double the normal rate, which I didn't really expect. So, does that mean that you guys want more of this kind? Let me ask you this. If you're a regular viewer, or even if you're not, let me ask you this. What I see is, first of all, that video was designed basically just to help people, you know? And apparently, there are people out there, and maybe it's not you, my subscribers, maybe it's not the usual people that are watching it. Maybe it's other people that are finding it. Whether they become subscribers or not, you know, time will tell. My question is, do you want more of that stuff? More instructional material? Because believe me, I could load you up with a lot of instructional material. And the other question I have is, you know, that's a 45-minute video. Usually my videos are basically between 30 and, you know, half an hour and an hour. But if you look at the analytics, the average time that people actually sit and watch my videos is somewhere between 3 and 6 minutes before they check out. So I'm not that great at retaining you as an audience, getting you to keep watching. So it makes me wonder, well, should I be, you know, I'm not going to quit doing these sorts of over the shoulder, watch the artist do his work kind of. I'm going to continue to do that because I enjoy doing it, and would enjoy watching it actually if I found something else out there that was similar. But do you want more you know, short form content that's more concise, that really hits the bullet points of whatever the topic is? Yeah, just let me know. Post it in the comments below. You know, let me know what you want to see. And if it's not utterly egregious to me, you know, I'll probably do it. So, okay, so today what I'm doing is I'm kind of getting past this little sequence here, and then we have this shot here, which by gum and by golly, I really just want to redo. I really just want to redo this shot. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do just that. And I'm going to do it just because I think it'll be fun, and I just want the practice, and I want to kind of get back to basics. I'm going to do it from scratch. I'm literally just going to redo this shot from scratch. Okay? So the one thing we know we have is Akari. Looking down at our bad boy ninja dude. Right? Okay, so I'm pulling out a little bit from what I had in the prior shot. And maybe this will turn out better. Maybe it'll turn out worse. Don't know. But I'm just going to have a little fun. Because it's fun to draw. It's fun to animate. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now Akari's eyes, we always have this discussion, don't we, about Akari's eyes. They're essentially, I think I usually say they're trapezoids, and they're not trapezoids, they're parallelograms. Okay, yeah, so here's a square. This would be a trapezoid. This would be a parallelogram, which I think if all these sizes are the same length, I think that's what makes it a rhombus. I'd have to check. I think that's correct. Can you believe I don't actually even know that? You'd think at my age I would know what a rhombus is, but I kind of don't. And you know what? I really don't care what a rhombus is. I can honestly say that other than here today on YouTube, I've never used the word rhombus in a sentence. Pretty sure I haven't. Pretty sure I haven't. So yeah, she's got a little bit of an attitude going on. Don't like her mouth. Don't like what I did there. Not sure I like her eyes either. Okay, let me just pause and evaluate this. Yeah. Now, what's going wrong here? This kind of gets into what I was talking about in the drawing video I just did. I feel like I've gotten too constrained by the requirements of the character to the point where I'm not having quite as much fun as I should be having just drawing, you know, in a way that feels good and is natural to me. With that in mind, play around here with Akari. I'm going to do some stuff I haven't done before and experiment with what is it with these C's and S's and, you know, that make these contours, you know, that are hopefully kind of interesting. What is it about her design that's cool? And what is it about her design that doesn't seem to resonate for me? Now, I'm not saying we're going to change the design of her this late in the game. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is, oops, and I have to sneeze. Stupid allergy season. What I'm saying is that utilizing these principles that I was talking about in the earlier video, how can I apply those principles to find my way of drawing her that's a little more that I guess flows for me. Okay. Where it all falls apart is in the eyes. So if I was not giving any regard to the design of the character, let's actually do it with what I said in the video. Let's draw those spheres. Let's draw the balls of the eye. Okay. Now, in her case, she's pretty excited. So let's just do that and then put the eyebrows where they would need to be. Like so. Now I'll flip the canvas just to make sure I'm keeping things relatively balanced. Okay, now, having done that, I'm actually liking this better already. The question is, how do we take the constraints of her eye design and apply the principles I was talking about? And I think number one, I want to turn the straight lines into C's. Just so I can feel the flow. Okay. So now let's pull out a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to actually take this one and make it what was concave, if you will, make it convex. Okay, now the mouth's not quite working. I didn't quite get the shape right, but that's not actually too bad. Okay. Her being slightly cross-eyed like that, I think, is working. Okay. So yeah, and kind of, again, like I said in the video, it's all just attitude and experimentation. Trying to find it. Find the character. Okay. Not horrible. Not horrible. Kind of feel like maybe that should be lower. Now, this is a tug of war between me and Valerie because I happen to like her look when the mouth is a little lower on the face. I think she favors when the mouth's a little higher on the face, and basically over the arc of the show, I think I've kind of won, since I'm the guy that has to draw it day in and day out, but she's not really complaining too much. Okay. I hit save all. Okay, so now here, oops, need to go here. Yes, okay. So if we look at this character here, I think what I have here is more in keeping with this than this. Now there's a few differences that I see. When I drew this, I was really in the zone. I was really kind of, I remember it, and I really had kind of figured out how I wanted to draw her. And what we have is the, okay, yeah, what's missing here, or what's wrong, is this really needs to be an arc instead of a, you know, the square jaw. She does have a square jaw, but really we only need to see it from this side when it's a 3/4 view. And then here, I'm going to go ahead and concede that I probably made the eyes too small. And something like that probably feels about right. Okay, so now let's go like that. Get that little tuft of hair in there. Okay, so that's interesting too. Most of the time that I've drawn her, I haven't gotten this quite right, which is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Here, for me, this is where I got it right. So in this case, you would have, let's just keep doing what we're doing, C's. Okay, this feels, it just feels stiff, you know? It feels stiff to me. Doesn't feel like it's got that loose character that I want. So now this is better. This is better. I like it better. Okay. All right. It's really amazing how, I mean, it's embarrassing to admit here, live to the whole world, how, you know, I've drawn this character a certain way through this whole show. And then when I got to here, I really, really felt like I nailed it. It's like, ah, there she is. That's the girl I've been trying to draw. And then here, it's not quite there. Again, it's gone. And I know the difference in terms of the process because I was just when it was right, it was so fluid and it was so easy. Yeah, something about her eyes that really made it easy. And when I just loosen up and draw my way is when it seems to come together better. Now here, the tuft of hair is kind of split into two, so that's fine. Let's get that in there. And then here we got a little bit of a sort of a little transitional zone, if you will. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, so that's gonna work. Alright. Okay, so now she's got this, right, she's got her bare shoulder going on here. And she's got her hand here. See, look at what I did here. See how it just looks so stiff. Everything looks so stiff. Mechanical. I just really want to get away from that. I really do. So I'm just going to imagine that I was drawing her whole arm there, and now we've got obviously her, well, wait a second. I guess it would just be a single. Okay, so here, obviously, she's still got her strap. Now, I'm going to say this is not really quite right, for the simple reason that I really think it should be over here. Okay, so she's going to actually cover up her pigtail, which is going to stick out below. Okay. Okay, a little bit of a proportion problem here. I drew her too small. Yeah, it's really weird because this is one of those days when I definitely don't feel like I'm in the zone. I don't feel like, I think maybe it just boils down to I have not been drawing enough, and I want to loosen up and do some sketching. And don't you know? Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put a mouth on a different level. And while I'm here, just experiment with some different mouth shapes. Yeah, that's kind of more what I'm looking for. Okay, now are we going to hit that with the plastic tool? That's the question. That's the question. Let's say not. Let's say if we're going to have her lean in, I think she should lean in. I don't think we should use the plastic tool. Maybe a little bit of a shear. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a, I'm going to do that old parenting thing. If you don't know what that means, well, what that means is I'm going to take column 1. We don't want the effects, we want the stage schematic. Okay, and I'm going to make column 2 and 3, which is her, basically her head and her mouth. I'm going to make these children of column C. So that then when and OpenToonz already knows I want to use the animate tool. So what I'm going to do here, first of all, is I'm going to move the center. And let's just put the center here. Okay, and now before we go too far, let's hit save all. And now let's experiment. So here's the shear. Let's see what happens if we go. Okay. So we don't have a lot of latitude. Okay. Don't have a lot. But we have a little. So we could do that, and we could have her lean in that way a little bit. And then, so it's, and then maybe, okay, we'll control C, control V. So not too much movement, but okay. And we'll leave it at that for the moment, but the truth is I may get rid of this. It's like I like her leaning in, but probably if she's going to be pulling back again. That probably should be happening later, but I'm just throwing that in there to get a feeling for how it's going to look. That's fine. Okay. Oh yes, very good. So now what happens is, so she's ranting and raving, and then all of a sudden she gets distracted. So that's where we need some more drawings. Let's just add a bunch. Okay, and we'll save all. And we'll have another drink of our brewski. Because this is going to require a little bit of acting. I'm going to say, let's do... First of all, let's figure out when it's going to be. Right there. Okay, so at 36, let's go duplicate. And... Boo-doop, boop, boo-doop, doo. I'm just going to erase. Just going to erase. Okay. And I literally have no idea what I'm doing. I'm making this up. So I'm going to do a tween on 2s. Just so I can get a reaction shot in there. And from here on, okay, actually let's do this. Let's put the eye, let's put the eyes kind of sort of where they were before. I mean the irises. And this is only going to be on the screen for a really short time, so it's just an effect. I'm making faces, aren't I? You can tell I'm making faces. Okay. All right. And then here her eyebrows are pretty prominent. So we want something like this. Okay, now what's going to happen is now I want to get back to 3s. I want to get back to normal anime pacing here as far as the animation goes. So let's hit the... Actually, let's do 2 tweens that are going to be really clean. So I'm going to hit the D key here. Oops, I didn't mean to hit the D key. Can I undo that? Yes, I can. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of her mouth there. Okay. So now, the reason I'm doing that is that I want to... That's interesting. When I jump between these, it insists on jumping back to the X sheet. Okay, well, that's alright. Let's see. Let's test if this is going to be a problem. I'm looking at the fact that her body's been translated by the animate tool. So I'm just going to draw that line just to make sure. Yeah, okay, I think it's going to behave the way I expect. So what I wanted to do, the reason I did this is so that we can do some sticks and balls here. Pull that back just a little bit. Pull this one in just a little bit and take her hand move it over yonder just a little bit. Okay, so now pigtail. This one doesn't move so much. Okay. And boom. B key. Save all. So what I'm doing is I'm forcing myself to animate here kind of traditionally. Okay, so this is going to be a profile shot. Nose. So I'm just going to probably the arc of the chin. It's going to be something like that. So yeah, probably. Okay. So all I'm doing here is mapping the positioning of these contours, actually. So this is a little different process than what I described in the drawing video, because I'm not trying to figure out a character here. I already know who she is and what she's supposed to look like. This is very much about trying to accurately map how the contours of her body would move. And if I get the contours right, then the whole animation will look right. That's my theory. It usually works. Okay, we'll let this kind of go like that and then settle. Okay, now we had these, obviously these guys, so I'm going to just keep doing that. Okay, like so. Okay, and what I want to do is get her eyes into a squinting position. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and put in the lines that are going to make that work. Now here, I guess that would be correct. Okay, a little bit of the following that around. I like it. Okay, so again, let me check the timing on this. Yep, I'm gonna add one more. Whoops, I hit the wrong key. Okay. B. Okay. Again, we're on 3s. Typical anime. This part right here, I'm going to keep the same. So now I'm kind of doing those C's again. Come on, baby. Up, I said. Okay. Okay. Just want to copy these contours. Okay, in order to keep the body position in the same place. So now the whole point here is she's turning her head away from the camera. And occluded slightly by the ever-present pigtails. Okay. Alright, let's go back to the beginning. See if we like it. Actually, in keeping with anime convention, I actually think that should be...
It seems like the plantain is actually ID plant.
Is what?
If you find it, you can buy mushrooms around it.
Well, folks, I gotta sign off for the moment. Boo.